The main concept behind R.U.S.E is to create an experience where the player is the strategist, he embodies the strategist. That's why you are in your HQ, in your war room, and you have the battlefield that is here. And as a strategist, you need to have high vision of what is happening, but you also need to, take care of any detail, zoom in, Everything that you see on the terrain has an impact on the game. You can set ambush in the cities or in the forest, as you can see. Take control of the bridges. Use the road. The road is something that is really important in the game because to deploy base, your engineer will take the road. All the units that don't have tracks will use the road and go twice faster and stuff like this. So now, when starting a game, I always build, some resources, and all the resources are displayed as supply, and I will deploy supply depot. As you can see, it's really easy. It's not a game based on micromanagement. It's more a game based on thinking of what you want to do, analyzing what's happening, and taking decision. And when you take decision, everything goes really fast because you're the strategist. You're not the. It's not a game where you need to click faster than the player. You need to think faster, to think right, and that's the way it goes. So now, as the supply depot has been deployed, I've got my supply trucks that are going back to my HQ. So as I say, it's really easy to deploy supply line, but the more they are far from my HQ, the more difficult it will be to secure all the supply line. So as I said, another thing regarding the game is analyzing what's happening. Game is a game where R.U.S.E is a game where you don't have the traditional fog of war. I've got an intel service that is telling me his HQ has been located here. He's got an artillery and anti-air base. He's sending some engineers there, etc., etc. So I have time to think what I should be doing, and as a strategist, I have the ruses, the tools that are the more linked to the strategist. It means I've got ruses that allows me to steal information from my enemy. I've got ruses that allows me to hide my unit to the intel service of the enemy. For example, I can set camouflage on this strategic sector, and now all the building here will be stealth. The enemy will not be able, for example, to know that I'm deploying an airfield. And also what I have ruses that allows me to have bonus on units, on sectors. Like this one is the Blitz, doubles the unit speed. And also finally the ruses that create decoy things. So I will fake that I'm deploying a base over there. And I can fake that I am sending an army over there and hide my real army and attack on his back. This is exactly what the game is about, being smart, being creative when you do your strategy, and take risk also. The thing we wanted also was to to give to the player the ability to see a strategy game in a different way. Like you can be close to the ground, enjoy the action, the battle.
You actually have time to do that because it's at a strategic level. You don't have to make micromanagement decisions. Yes,
exactly. And by dezooming, it's really, immediately I know what's happening on the battlefield. And for example, now what I'm going to try to do is to deploy a base in the center of the map. So I'm going to build a secondary HQ. Secondary HQ will allow me to deploy engineers from this point, and after deploying the base. So in order to go faster, I will use the Blitz. So I can do combo, like placing placing two RUS on the same sector, and with the Blitz, my engineer truck here will go faster. Now he's camouflaged, and I will also put another camouflage here, remove my building to be hidden just here. The thing is, here I've got 126 points. Each element that I've destroyed I have scored the exact amount of price of the unit, meaning that I destroyed $126 of destruction, which means I'm starting winning this battle. And we wanted the game not to be like you lose or you win, but something you try to like destroy things of the enemy at the end of the time of the battle. You will see if it is a draw, a major victory, a minor victory, or stuff like this. And also the thing which is cool is when you're gonna play online the game, you will have your your level and stuff and your experience, and everything that you do when you destroy, even if you have a total defeat, but if you make something like 200 points, you will have this reward for your score. So it's not something where the loser lose everything. So then I have my secondary HQ. He doesn't have any idea of what's happening. So now I'm attacking. I've revealed here extremely powerful anti-tank gun. So it's going to be tough to attack it with this. Anytime I can have, if I'm going to win or lose. So now it says easy, meaning that if all my unit, my 4 Shermans attack this cannon, I will win. But as I think there is another one, might be difficult. So to be sure he doesn't have 2, I will use a spy and send a spy in this sector. Hola, he's got 3. So I've got some. You see my artillery, this is his range. So I will send my artillery here and start bombing those units which doesn't have, armor. All the time I see my battle plan, what's happening, which gives me information about how I should, what should I do and stuff like this. So I'm gonna send also my recon over there. And you know how long, the ruse will last. And you get ruse every 1.5 minutes. And you don't have to pay for the ruse because, you're the strategist. And, a ruse is being smart. And as a strategist, you're smart. So that's why it's free. And every 1.5 minutes, you have a new idea. So now he's attacking me with anti-aircraft, with air bombers. So with this radio silence, his unit is not able to see me anymore. As you can see, there isn't any live bar or stuff like this on unit. You see the amount of damage he receives, and when he starts blinking means, they are routing and try to escape. And if they stop fighting with the time, they will get fully operational. We didn't want it, to have this old-fashioned live bar and stuff like this, but more something that is more, I would say, immersive. I think now it's time to attack with these, because his unit, as they can't fire while moving.
A lot of stuff is going on at the same time.
Yeah. Ooh, these are decoy. In fact, he doesn't have a lot of units. And you see those cannon? They fire very long range. They are really powerful. In one shot, they are close to root my unit. So it is time to bomb some of these. As you can see, it is really easy to act and react. I want my bombers now. I want more tanks. Up, 2 clicks, because we think that what is the most interesting for the player is to decide, analyze rather than micromanage things. When you have the feeling the victory is not possible anymore, if you go really on defense, try to destroy most of expensive unit he has. You can have the possibility, to change the course of thing, and the game can really switch. The problem is usually when you start losing, you panic, you create the most expensive unit, and it's even worse. A good player tries to not to waste, his unit and buy the unit for the correct purpose at the right place. In fact, there are 3 ways to play the game. You can play it with the mouse, you can play it with this controller, or you can play it with a table touch.